I don't think Alliance will get that at all. The IO, on the other hand, might be given away by Alliance if they feel like they get a good trade.
You mean 4CL?
No, 4CL is first pick, so I think they will take the IO themselves. If
Okay.
Or Shadow.
Need to watch out for Tiny Wisp though.
Yeah. What do you think? If you're giving away first pick to the Dire in this kind of situation between these two teams, would you rather first pick the IO or the Shadow Fiend, knowing that if you take Shadow Fiend, you give Tiny?
I just first pick the Tiny.
10 seconds remaining.
Would you rather not
It's a
leave
sexy Bambo
all
special.
3 in? Yeah, you can ban out starter instead.
You could leave all 3. That's an option, but
They get more chance to pick
Shadow
out the
Fiend
best
on
ones for
Dire isn't your
yourself.
favorite against the Tiny Wisp mid lane.
Alliance's turn to pick.
It's got to be an SF for Alliance, right?
No, they're not the biggest SF fans because it's not really an S4 hero, but they do sometimes put low to mid on SF. That's an option they have.
Yeah.
But it's kind of unfamiliar territory for them.
If they don't grab SF in the first 2 here, I feel like 4Clovers are off to a really good start in the draft.
I think
don't even
taking
have to
Tiny is a really good option. I know S4 can, or Loda can definitely play Tiny. Maybe like a Bane as well.
Didn't Loda do a Tiny mid against like a 2 or 3?
Dire team pick.
Yes, this works.
This is definitely an S4 hero.
Means good versus Wisp.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a very open draft from Alliance too. They can safely play the Tiny, they can play mid Queen of Pain, same story. They can even play Queen of Pain on Nuts, so they have like, this is, usually if you see other teams pick these 2, you feel like you get so much information. When it's Alliance, you actually don't really know what you're dealing with. Just that most likely the Tiny is a core, that's pretty much all you have to go by for now.
So we've mostly seen Tiny support only on the side of Secret,
Dire
right?
team
Yes.
back.
But Alliance is on the Radiant side.
Alliance's
You can do it on Dire too.
You could do it on Dire too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
In my practice lobby, I found it even easier to do it on Dire because you could get the secondary pull just with the tango instead of needing a second toss. But I mean, Alliance could definitely cheese something, but I'm not expecting
10
that.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, well, Shadow Fiend still goes away of 4Clovers and a Leprechaun.
5
AA is
seconds
the
remaining.
ban, isn't it, for 4CL here? You got like the Shadow Fiend mech, the IO heal.
Reserve time.
they could ban A, but it's not a hero Alliance plays too often. I guess maybe Ake might play it, but
Actually, seeing this combo yesterday was the Tiny Magnus. Magnus definitely an S4 hero.
I think S4 is definitely playing the Quap.
You think?
Well, mine that's plays a support quap as well
Oh,
for
that's
them.
yeah. I guess that's a possibility. I forgot about that.
In power, 50% bonus for Tiny, it's a pretty big deal.
Dire team back.
Alchemist could be good as well for Alliance, I think.
Alliance should look for some BKB lockdown. I think Bane is a super awesome pick for them. Winter Wyvern still in the pool. Be really good for them as well.
They do play Disruptor quite a bit as well.
They do like Disruptor. It's pretty good against Wisp. Be a good pick this game. It's not awesome against Shadow Fiend, but still can be
5
fine.
seconds remaining.
Dazzle is still in the pool.
What about a hero that we haven't seen at all yesterday, which is the Undying? Alliance really like the hero a lot. Would it not be too good against Shadow Fiend, given the fact that he could kind of mow down your tombstone very fast, or?
No. Undying's fine. It can work against. Yeah, it can definitely be fine here. You could win all 3 lanes in theory with Undying dueling off lane, Quap dueling safe lane, or Tiny dueling safe lane. Like Bane Undying would be awesome. I'd be a huge fan of that.
Well, 4CL rolling over their last ban.
Bulldog actually plays the Queen of Pain a bit as well. Like,
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, so they have the 3 options for the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, so what I think Alliance think their best option here is to abuse the Shadow Fiend and abuse the fact that they have a Shadow Fiend mid on Dire, and then the fact that they have a Wisp as well. So you put like a Bane Tiny mid.
Okay.
That lane is gonna force Wisp to constantly stay there and help the Shadow Fiend, and then you do like an Undying dueling off lane.
Bane is banned now, but so what would you replace that with?
There's not a lot better options for dueling mid.
10
There's still,
seconds remaining.
I mean, you can do a lot of things. There's like Shadow Demon, you can do Lich.
5 seconds remaining.
Can you just stick a Wyvern mid and
Yeah,
Arctic
you
Burn?
can put a Wyvern there. It's not the best because Tiny will
Reserve time.
pretty much get crushed by a SFIO
Okay.
lane, but if you put a Quap mid, that's something you could do. I think they're probably going to go for the Disruptor on Alliance.
I asked you, Jim, what is worst hero to play against when he's playing IO, and Disruptor is like by far the worst.
That's rough. You relocate in, you're just like, oh, guess I'm in here. Guess I'm in here for a while. Hope I live. Somebody mech me.
Turn to pick.
Just a ban of the Wraith King that we saw yesterday. When 4Clovers play their Shadow Fiend on Pycat, they also had the Wraith King on Nico in the safe lane.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good partner with IO.
Wraith King SF is something else. SF just doesn't die. Just keeps live stealing.
Yeah.
It's a very good ban, actually. So what's left for Nikwa that we've seen him play? Generally, he has played Slardar, Wraith King. We've seen
Alchemist?
Alchemist was picked in one game. I think that's too greedy for 4CL now. If they get an Alch too, they're going to lose the lanes. So I don't think they're even considering that
Can
option.
play Invoker as well.
Just Gyrocopter.
Gyro.
Thinking about range heroes. They could do a PL. Wanted.
I think Invoker is actually pretty
Okay.
Dire team
Nature's Prophet.
I like
good. Here it is,
And
boys.
it gets an applause. Indeed. worth, yeah, sure. Now we do know that Queen of Pain is going to be played by S4. So it kind of
Maybe.
gives a lot
Maybe.
of...
Spirit Breaker
Mine
for
nuts could still
4CL.
play it.
Spirit Breaker is really good.
Normally when Mindnuts plays the support Queen of Pain, they do it in combination with
Undying
Bulldog
or
playing.
Doom. Yeah,
with
okay.
Bulldog playing something else.
Yeah.
I know Boycott likes Beastmaster, but he's also their SF player, so I think Beastmaster would be pretty good in this game.
5
But they don't,
seconds remaining.
I'm not sure I'll find
Beastmaster
enough
could be
plays
good.
it.
What about the Bamboo Clockwork here? Normally see as a profit counter.
I think PBD's idea with Breaker is a little bit better. First of all, they have a tanky support then who can, I'm assuming they would play support. Create space
okay,
for the
it's
IS
just-
to work early. Clock is decent against Prophet. He's not really good against Quap at all though. You hookshot and you just blink
That's
out.
true.
Tiny tosses you out of the cogs.
Tiny throws him.
So-
Actually, the Nikwa hero that we were forgetting is the Bat Rider.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is
Bat
actually his
Rider-
most
Bat
played
Rider's in
hero.
too.
Bat plus
Alright.
Wisp, that's like the Alliance playbook.
I'm on board with Bat Rider.
Bat is good too. Now that they pick Night Stalker, it's probably a support, so I think Breaker just got a lot
You wanna wait?
worse.
You wanna wait? Fourth pick the bat and then ban the disruptor. That seems like an appropriate idea.
What do you think? If Alliance are already considering the Bat Rider option for 4Clovers, what do you think about grabbing Venge now as a counter? First of all, to Wisp, it's actually decent to swap out the tether, kill the Shadow Fiend.
Venge is okay.
Would
Last
a
time.
Baton not fit more in their type
They
of
should just take
playstyle?
their disruptor right now. Though.
Abaddon is pretty cool too, actually. But he's... Okay, they're gonna go for the lane with Lich.
Dire team
Great mid.
Definitely gonna see Bat Rider right here.
Seems pretty solid.
They need some catch, some grab, so like a Clockwork or Bat Rider.
Clockwork and Bat Rider are both his most played
They
heroes.
used Wraith King for that position yesterday,
That's true.
but
Hey,
it's banned.
what do you think about Phoenix? Also a hero that Nikwa has about almost 70% win rate on.
I think it's difficult for 4CL to set up the team fight that Phoenix wants.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
also going to play carry in this game because of
5 seconds
Pike out
remaining.
on the mid lane Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, most likely.
Fair enough.
I think Bat is good. It's not just the way Bat deals
Reserve
with
time.
Prophet and Quap being able to catch. It's also really difficult to play Tiny against Sticky Napalm. That hero is easily kited in fights already, and then if you Napalm him and he has to turn,
Turn to
it's
bat.
so difficult. The
I'd see
heroes...
Bristleback as well. 4CL.
Yep.
If
Go for Wyvern.
4CL do a similar strategy to what they did yesterday, they just put the Shadow Fiend front line, they get maybe like a Juggernaut, they just push super early,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
10
Juggernaut
seconds.
works.
and they 5th ban the AA. Seems pretty scary.
5 seconds remaining.
The worry for me in that case for 4CL is if they don't win Shadow Fiend's lane,
Reserve
Alliance
time.
can play split push all day long this game. I don't think there's enough catch if you go for a Jugger now to disallow Prophet from playing. Yes, you're playing against Wisp, but he can just go for a Shadow Blade build and just avoid relocate ganks. Just keep kiting
Dire
4Clovers all
team
over the
back.
place.
Night Stalker though, is scary to play split push against.
It is, but at the same time, I don't think Prophet is one of the worst heroes of dealing with. You send a Treant to scout on the side, you just push the lane with the rest.
Would
You
you not
spread your
just go
treats
for a
out.
Gyrocopter if you're 4Clovers?
That's definitely an option. Good gyro.
10 seconds.
I'm surprised he's still in the pool.
5
Also
Me,
great hero
Gyro's
with
kind
a
of the
win.
same story. Like, if I'm Alliance right now, I'd probably dual lane the Lich mid and just shut down SF. And then
Alliances
if you
turn
get
to
to
Like-
play a Prophet game and just play split push, that's their strength.
I like this ban a lot.
The
I like,
Magnus,
yeah,
Alliance still has no BKB lockdown for Shadow Fiend.
that is true.
just comboing it up with the Tiny.
Do you think Alliance can avoid fighting if they win mid?
Their push is very strong, right? They have a Shadow Fiend to clear the waves. They have a lot of sustain. And if they pick someone that can actually push as a
10
core,
seconds.
It could be hard to split push against Wisp. It's pretty tough.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, I think Alliance, what they're going to try and do is just win their lanes and then maybe
Reserve
group up.
time.
Group up as 4 and then have Fury and just kind of port in
Yeah.
later.
Get all the treants up. Aghanim's, Nature's Prophet.
Aghanim's, Nature's Prophet.
You sound so excited.
Little happy trees.
I mean, it's
little trees.
yeah, happy little trees everywhere.
Yeah. That must be like a horror to play against. You do get a lot of gold though if you can clear them fast.
I've yet to experience it, so I'm hoping that day never comes.
10 seconds
It's definitely not fun to play against.
Max refresher profit is
Yep.
a thing.
5 seconds
Unfortunately,
remaining.
it can be very fun to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna
there's
get
the
the
Spirit
SP.
Breaker.
Interesting.
There's some BKB lockdown, much needed.
Okay, last pick for 4Clovers. What's it gonna be?
Not sure. I think the Spirit Breaker, just to round that off, good against Wisp. He has a very easy time accessing the back line. This is one of the few supports you get in behind. Of course, when you charge, you get flying vision over the target, and you get the target's vision with Spirit Breaker, right? So when you charge Night Stalker at
10
nighttime, you get
seconds remaining.
a lot of information if you get to see him in the first place. And a lot of the times,
5
I actually see
seconds
Spirit Breaker being
remaining.
used that way, where you don't even complete the charge, you're just looking for info.
Could they not just go like Necrolite
I'll guess Slark.
Reserve time.
and just jump up and push?
I'm gonna guess Slark.
Smart.
That's my guess. No idea though. Seems like a bad guess.
Against Tiny, the Craggy?
Craggy, man.
I don't know. I mean, they can't go like Batrider, can they? Is that enough to carry? Night Stalker, Shadow Fiend?
Probably not.
I think Jugger is still more likely than Smart, but
I mean, Jugger and Luna both seem really bad.
But Jugger
against
also has the
Furion.
craggy problem. Gyrocopter doesn't have the craggy problem.
Juggernaut's actually okay against Tiny. He's pretty good. You can burn. You can like
10
burst them down with
seconds
Omni.
remaining.
and it's a
5 seconds remaining.
Soon. That bad rider
Okay.
still. Okay.
This is kind of all in
Are
here.
they
for-
lacking damage or
Wake
what?
up, please.
Yeah, they're lacking a lot of damage, but if they can group up with an early SF, like SF hits his peak and they start pushing towers.
What
Then it's
moment
okay.
are you looking for then? What like time
Uh,
or item?
by 20 minutes, they need to take like at least 2 tier 1s and a tier 2, or all 3 tier 1s or something. Maybe a Roshan.
20 minutes. It's do it or die, or rather not really, because it's best of 3. It's only game 1. We're having Alliance versus 4Clovers. It is time for the first match of the day. 4Clovers and Leprechaun versus Alliance. Take it away.
Indeed, thank you very much, Shiva. It is myself, ODPixel and Draskell, that's going to be taking you guys here at the stadium, and those of you at home through this series. Alliance versus 4Clovers. Andy, the draft came out. They were talking about the Batrider pick. We saw what Bambo was able to do with it yesterday. Is this the game for them to bring into the game again today against Alliance?
I think it could be. We saw yesterday they actually gave Bambo the safe lane that allowed him to get under an 8-minute Blink Dagger against Vega and just totally was able to control the game, just picking off that Death Prophet repeatedly. So if he can have a similar performance, very similar to what the panel was saying, I could very easily see 4CL taking this game in around the 25-minute mark, give or take. Especially with the Night Stalker, you win your lanes, and then you can just asphyxiate Alliance. You know, like Nature's Prophet has a really hard time now because of the extra catch added by the Batrider. You're trying to split push at nighttime, or even like if darkness comes out, it's very difficult for you. But important to note that Alliance's last 2 picks, they really wanted to secure themselves a laning phase, right? Like they took Lich, Spirit Breaker. That just screams, I want to make sure I don't lose my land so that Night Stalker pick never really comes to fruition and just makes our mid-game hell. So we'll see what they can get done early here.
I think this is going to be a matchup that a lot of people are going to be very interested to follow. We've seen already at this LAN 4Clovers, they've had a great run to get to this point here on day 2. And Alliance, of course, this is their first match. They were able to get themselves from the initial Dream League stage straight into day 2. So their first match here at LAN, but of course, they've got the home crowd support as well, though. A lot of the players on 4Clovers, they've got a fair few that were back in the day alongside those on Alliance. So a little bit of a rivalry going on, a little bit of a fun one as well, though, as everyone's friends here. But they're not going to be friends here on the battlefield, as we could see some pretty crazy stuff kick off. And as you said, a lot of focus on the laning stage from both sides. And if Bambo gets a good timing on that Blink Dagger, we can expect 4Clovers to just go, and try and force the fights in Alliance.
Now this matchup so far, if it's going to stay a 1v1, Bulldog versus Bambo, this is what I really want to keep an eye on. See who gets the better of the laning phase. You could look to see Bulldog maybe teleporting around early to try to pressure the SF in mid lane, if they can find an opportunity for that, as they do have, seems 3 heroes from 4CL right now.
Try lane mid from 4Clovers.
Our Shadow Fiend needs farm. Let's get him an early game going.
And it's understandable. We've seen before what Pycat can do on this hero. He can get insanely ahead and just pretty much carry the game on his own back if he gets a good start on this hero.
Yeah, the one thing is can the Spirit Breaker actually find a place to charge? So a lot of the times you pick that hero to just create chaos in the early game. Like Minuts is going to have to make sure that he can either try to pressure mid, maybe try to pressure top a little bit. Because as a melee support, you really want to pick that hero in a situation where you have a good kill target.
Well, load it. Let's move on as Pycat was hoping for the toss back. A little bit unlucky there. Caught himself a creep instead of the hero. But yeah, as you said, a lot of focus on how this mid lane matchup and how this top lane goes. Bulldog obviously on his signature Prophet. And we'll see how well he manages to manage against this Bambo Batrider. Bottom lane as well, S4 on the quad. I mean, both teams, Alliance particularly, have got these heroes that we know that they can be very, very good with Andy.
Yeah, there's a lot of comfort zone coming out from Alliance, so if you're a fan, this is a lineup that I would expect them to know in and out. You get some split push going. Their team fight's not too bad either. Loda, Tiny, one of his iconic heroes. For CL though, they do have the Shadow Fiend and a Wisp stacking for him. And Saksa, I would also say that this is probably one of his most comfortable heroes as well, playing on the Winter Wyvern. So it's not as if 4CL are playing really out of their comfort zone. Just going to come down to, like we talked about, the early game is going to mean so much for both of these teams.
And at the moment, looking at the CS in the lane, well, Pycat is just going to come up here for the 2-minute rune, and well, you get the Arctic Burn slower onto Ake, now walking up, chasing him away. I don't think this Lich is going to survive this one, and he won't. First blood there to EGM as he takes down his former partner in crime. Ake to fall, and first blood to 4Clovers.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of emphasis on trying to just take away everything they can from Pycat, so he's just going for the top rune.
Bottom lane, we might see a kill here for Alliance. They'll blink forward, trying to get Nikwa, and one more right click should just do it. Nice. And Alliance, they'll get themselves a kill in return, bringing it to 1-1. S4 picking it up on the quad.
I mean, Night Stalker is actually quite hard to kill early game, so a bit surprising that Nikwa gets caught out like that. He even has a pretty deep ward in the woods right now, so maybe just not being able to see Minuts, he could have come in from an angle that he just didn't have a chance to see. So 1-1. In terms of overall farm, Loda is leading a little bit over the Shadow Fiend, but that's kind of to be expected when you have a Lich that had been sitting mid for a while. Pycat's really going to start to get his farm up though once he goes and takes those stacks.
Yeah, look at these. EGM is doing an absolute top job here with the double stacks. Is he going to be able to get both of them? I believe the timing should be right, and he does. These are huge stacks. You know, when Pycat does go back and get this, he's going to be a fair bit ahead of this Tiny.
Yeah, the one thing to note though is a lot of times, like if you look at the ward placement of Alliance, they're keeping tabs on where EGM is all the time, so they understand that he's stacking. And it's very, very frequent that you see contention coming out from a team that has a hero like Tiny, like Queen of Pain, who have that early AoE to just be able to go and get the farm and possibly take it away from Pycat.
Yeah, stealing those will be absolutely huge. Bulldog at the moment found himself level 4 on this off lane. And compare that to how Nick was doing, level 3, so a little bit of an advantage here for Bulldog. And CS-wise, has managed to find a fair bit, 14 CS at the moment on this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, it's very difficult actually to zone this hero, especially somebody who's so proficient on it like Bulldog. Because Treants are actually pretty hard to trade with as a ranged hero. They hit for 26 to 30 damage, and I mean, Winter Wyvern only hits for 45, so that's not really too big of a difference. If he just walks them at you kind of have to back, otherwise you're making an inefficient trade, so he is finding quite a bit of space.
Bottom lane, nuts. We saw him find that charge earlier onto the Night Stalker to get the kill, but 4 minutes in, yet to really find another opening. I mean, you were talking about it earlier. It's going to be a hard game for him to find these charges across the map.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you look at Spirit Breaker and you're thinking, okay, this hero is kind of meant to break down the laning phase a bit and have a real good target to just continually charge. You're going to see an Avalanche for Harass here in the middle lane, but he's gotten 1 kill at least, which is more than I thought he would get, given the way that 4CL blamed this.
Bottom lane, S4 and Nikwa. Just being very aggressive, trying to put as much pressure as they can on this tower. S4 very close to picking up the Sonic Wave, halfway through level 5. And Nikwa's got to be that little bit more scared. In fact, there is backup now coming into the bottom lane from Saxa. Maybe seeing if they can get an Arctic Burn touch onto one of these heroes. Nikwa's ready with the Crippling Fear straight away onto S4. Beautiful coordination with the side of 4Clovers. There is a charge. Buying time. Can S4 get himself in time? No, the silence is too long. They'll take down the quad.
That was
and a very nice move from Saxa.
That was a really nice rotation. Like, as soon as he hit 4, Saxa TP to the tier 2, and he realizes, like, this is the point where the Night Stalker can actually start to do stuff, because you actually need 4 if you're going to put 2 points in the Void, because without Crippling Fear during the first night, you can't kill Queen. It's just impossible. But 5-second silence at level 1 proves to be a little bit too strong. I think Minut's reaction was a tiny bit slow, but I don't know if it would have mattered either way. I think he was just dead.
And here we have at the moment EGM trying to pick up some levels in that mid lane. He's got to be a little bit careful of Ake and Loda. And of course, back in the Dire Jungle, Pycat now beginning to clear these stacks. So it looks like he will get away with it, and Alliance aren't at a point that they can do anything to stop this. So they're just going to have to let these go, and Pycat is going to be very, very happy picking up this farm.
Yeah, they know they're pretty safe. Sometimes it's, for a safe lane like Queen, you can find yourself teleporting around and actually just trying to contest mid a bit, maybe try to take the stacks, but since they knew he was dead, it's like, okay, whatever.
Top lane, Bambo going rather aggressive here with the Fireflies, now backing himself up. There is a charge coming through for Nuts. He's a little bit far away, just at the tier 2 at the moment. We'll see if he can follow through on this. There's no regen on Bambo. He's 1900 gold towards that Blink Dagger. We'll see if Nuts does commit it. Is he going to go in? Is he going to go deep? It looks like he's going to go for it here. He may need a bash or two to find this kill. No, okay, with the Nature's Wrath, they'll get themselves that one. And Bulldog picks up a vital kill there on the Batrider, setting him back about 300 gold towards that Blink Dagger, which he was so close to.
Yeah, delaying that is going to be massive for Alliance. Like, getting the Queen to level 6, getting low to a point where he can actually start taking fights, that's going to be crucial, and making sure that Bambo doesn't have his blink timing to kind of disrupt that.
Top lane, 4Clovers aren't happy. They want to try and find something. Moving forward here, they'll get the Void slow, and now they're going to move in onto Bulldog. They'll get themselves the kill with the raises from Pycat. So getting a little bit of a revenge and more money into the bank of Shadow Fiends as 4Clovers again on top of the rotations.
It's very interesting to me that 4CL, you know, they don't have a traditional tether target, right? I guess during mid-game you
mid lane, Saxa. He's going to get the Cold Embrace out in time. I don't think he's going to get himself out of this one. The toss is there, slammed down by the guys on Alliance. They'll take the kill. 4Clovers are moving in now. Nico's trying to go for this with a Void on Taki. The balls as well flying through PGM, and they'll get the kill onto the Lich. 1-for-1 at the moment, now more turning up. There's a charge across the middle of the fight. Nuts bashing them all over. The Sonic Wave from S4 hits onto 4 of them. Nico to fall. Bambo getting tethered up. He gets the last off onto Loader. Loader will drop to the right clicks of Pycat. And now Pycat's trying to find more. He's looking for Nuts. He's gem tethering up Bambo. Bambo's going to get healed up just in time with the Cold Embrace, and Nuts will charge away. So Alliance go full on aggressive there in the mid lane, but 4Clovers, they are able to pick that kill on Loader on the way out on that fight.
Yeah, the Tiny got lassoed into pretty much a double raise. And most of the time, you're not going to live through that at such an early stage. But both teams realizing how important the early game is, just non-stop pressure everywhere. At Queen of Pain TP, they know that if they give away too much to 4CL during the mid-game, it becomes really hard to play against Night Stalker, Bat, and IO together. And being a team who's so good at the hero, Alliance realize that they don't want to put themselves in that position.
I mean, they were so close as well. It looked like Alliance had that fight when S4 hit that 4-man Sonic Wave.
Yeah, the charge was actually really good too, coming in from Minuts. He actually hit, like, I think 3 people with a stun, so.
We're going to see if the side of Alliance can find anything here. Ake and Loader are smoked up. Love to try and find a pick-off on one of these two heroes, EGM and Pycat. And the ones that they're set their sights for. They've seen them now as the creep wave comes around on this top lane. Loader, he's level 7. He's got a fair bit of potency with his combo. Yet to hit level 6 on Ake, so they don't have the Chain Frost. So they're just going to check out the jungle, see if there's any stacks, but at this moment in time, they have all been cleared up, so nothing in the jungle. And it looks like Alliance won't find anything here with the smoke.
It's a bit unfortunate. I mean, they did drop a ward or 2, so it wasn't a complete miss. Charge mid here on the Soxa.
Let's see if they can get this. They've got the wraparound from Loader and Ake. And it's going to be the Arctic Burner now with the TPs. Hello, Loader might be in trouble straight away again. The lasso in the exact same point as before. They get themselves another kill on the Tiny. They're moving on to Ake. Tries to turn around for a blast. It's not going to come out. And again, 4Clovers finding 2 key kills. And Bambo's lasso on point again.
I think Peter mentioned this during the draft, but the Shadow Fiend IO lane just totally crushes the Tiny. It's very, very hard for Loader to find a lot in the early game. And you have that with 2 deaths, where Pycat had somebody stacking for him, and there are a couple of stacks in the woods for Alliance as well, but I meant this is, what, a 2-stack? Yeah, so it's 2 2-stacks, which isn't going to be enough to recover to where Pycat is at. He's got mech and treads, Aquila, full wand, 9.5 minutes into the game.
That's crazy, Pyke. I mean, we were saying at the start, just Pycat, SF, you got to watch out. There's a reason why they threw 3 heroes down the mid lane at the beginning. You know, trying to get Pycat this lead, and he's certainly got it now a good 1.5k ahead of the safest, well, the safe laner of Alliance S4 on his quad. I mean, this is exactly where you want your SF to be. Bottom lane though, Nikwa, he doesn't want to be there. There's a charge, S4 coming through as well. Bulldog with the TP. Nikwa in a lot of trouble, tries to turn around with a bit of reverse harassment onto S4. Is it going to pay off? And they get themselves the kill there, Alliance. Very nice pick off, and managing to include Bulldog in that one as well.
Now with these little skirmishes, Alliance finding any kill is going to be crucial. They know that going for the Shadow Fiend right now is very difficult unless they throw everything at him. So with that in mind, I wouldn't be surprised to see 4CL maybe try to group up a little bit, go for some tier 1s. You have that mech so early that Alliance's damage is not really that great unless they can throw everything out onto the single target.
Tower is under attack.
I'll see what the next point of call is here from both sides. Alliance sticking it around the jungle. S4 has got that Sonic Wave off cooldown again if they want to try and look for something. And that's, yeah, he's going to go for the charge on Saxa. Saxa, I think he realizes something is up. He's Arctic burning himself away, and yeah, it's going to be enough for Nuts to cancel and hold back on that one. Won't be following through. And here's your relocate Bambo. He's actually caught out S4. Oh, EGM brings Pycat in as well, and hello. S4 gets the blink off. They're not actually going to be able to find this kill. So even with the lasso and the relocate, it wasn't just enough to control this quap, and I guess that's one of the downsides really of that tricol when they go for a kill. When the lasso's already been used.
Yeah, that was a little bit interesting, actually. I guess they thought it would be a little bit longer before. Saxa's sprouted.
Nature's Wrath. Already fly through, and there's a TP, so Nuts isn't going to go for this one. Hasn't quite got the mana here for another strike. And with the TP in from Bambo as well. It's going to slow this one down, but Alliance are looking to group and go. Do they have a smoke here? Or are they just going to go straight for the push? It looks like they're just going to try and get some momentum going on this top lane. In fact, the full 5-man. All ready to fight. Nuts leading through. They've found Sax. They blink forward. They'll get the Shadow Strike. The Scream's there as well. And with the right clicks, they'll bring him down. Alliance, they get the quick, clean kill. The TP is actually going to be cancelled here by Pycat. And I think this may be 4Clovers just letting this one go. They do not want to try and stop this full 5-man push from Alliance.
Yeah, they're just going to go for the counter pressure. Try to push him in a bit. Push him bottom. I think it might actually be better to just use relocate with Nikwa if it's nighttime, you know, because then you can actually like silence the Queen of Pain after the lasso. You don't have to actually kill the hero in that time. Because as we said earlier, the Shadow Fiend isn't a traditional wisp target, you know. You don't really see that being the combo most of the time. Some hero with some kind of disable.
Charge is coming through on Pycat. EGM, he does have relocate, but there's the Nether Strike controlling the IO. IO will go down to a bash. They get the Winter's Curse up on S4. The Red Room as well, the Razes. They're turning it around. They found 2. They're going to get the lasso onto Bulldog as well. He's almost certainly going to fall as 4Clovers find 3. Double kill for Pycat. Beautiful Winter's Curse. And hello, there may be more. They get the Arctic Burn slow onto Loader. Flame Break will bounce Loader back towards them. The blink from Bambo. He's just playing with the Tiny, and they take him down as well. 4 kills for 4Clovers, and some beautiful team play from them there in the mid lane.
That escalated quickly, as they say. He actually sacrificed EGM there. He
Let's have a look. Yeah, when should they pull it out, Andy?
So he goes for the ulti here to try to blow up the Wisp, but the mech keeps EGM alive a little bit longer than I think they had expected. And instead of going for the save, Saxa comes in with a really nice curse that just annihilates S4. And at this point, the fight's already over. Like, you've lost your Queen of Pain, you use all of your burst damage, and 4CL just come in and clean up.
Nuts was just pushing out the top, does TP away as the movement from Nikwa was heading in his direction. Bambo, 1k gold now on top of that Blink Dagger. He's going to just TP himself out. S4 just finding some farm here in the jungle, trying to make his way towards that Orchid. And Bulldog himself looks like he's going to be going for the Shadow Blade build here on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, this is a really hard game for Nature's Prophet, actually. When you're behind as this team against Night Stalker, it was mentioned on the panel, and again inside of this game, is it's very hard to play this hero from behind when you know that relocate ganks are always a possibility. So you need an item that's going to allow you to be more mobile and make 4CL invest in buying like sentries, dust, things like that, just to be able to spot you out. Otherwise, you're kind of just a free kill. So at the very least, you're making them commit something. And I think Bulldog is very good at playing that kind of game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
On lane, the relocate. Bambo's ready to jump on Bulldog. Bulldog will prod the trees, but they get the lasso. EGM and Pycat turn up, melt through the Nature's Prophet. And we'll see if Alliance want to try and fight here. They do have the Nether Strike. They're going to lead in. They are. S4 blinking forward here. And it's going to be the relocate back out, taking Pycat away from this one. Bambo could be the one that gets sacked down the side of 4Clovers, and he will be. They get the vision, they get the bashes. And they will find the return kill. So the 2 solo laners just falling for each other there. Bulldog for Bambo.
I think it's okay, though, because I think Alliance are more reliant on Bulldog right now than 4CL are on Bambo. Like, if Bambo finds a kill and has a trade, okay, he's pretty much done his job. Because the rest of 4CL's lineup, if you look at it in a 4 versus 4, they're actually very strong. I think Alliance have a hard time taking an engagement right now, considering how farmed Pycat is. Like, he has full SNY coming right now.
Avalanche from Loader isn't going to catch anyone. He gets the toss onto Pycat, but they just turn. And with the right clicks, they destroy Loader. Loader just disappears. Oh, the Sonic Wave's beautiful. The Chain Frost to pull up as well. Maybe Alliance can turn. Winter's Curse down on test 4. EGM gets bashed up. The Requiem comes out from Pycat, and Bulldog's going to get himself out. He's stuck in the trees. He's going to get taken down. There's a 2 for 2 at the moment. S4 just hiding in the sidelines. Saxa and Pycat trying to look for him here. S4, maybe he comes back out. Nuts and Ake moving down the lane. There'll be the charge onto Saxa. He's cold embraced himself up. Pycat still down the back. Oh, the Splinter Blast! The right clicks. Pycat has no mercy. Double kill from the man. Nuts has got to try and get himself out. He's got to charge in 3 seconds. Is he going to be soon enough? 1 second. No! The fire's there. The triple kill from the Shadow Fiend. Pycat destroying his old teammates here, as it's a beautiful performance on this SF, and he's now pretty much double the net worth of S4 on his quad.
Okay, so I think if we can take anything away from the games of 4CL so far here at the LAN finals, don't give 4CL Shadow Fiend. Like, just don't do it.
Loda's got to run. He's got to get himself. He's already used the Avalanche. Okay, they're actually going to take Pycat out of this one. And yeah, they've already found the tier 2 there. They'll look to just get the pressure going on the other lanes.
He just finished his SNY as that fight was kicking off, right?
And he's got 2 points.
He's got 2,700 gold after he just finished up the SNY. It's 16 minutes into the game and he's got 12k net worth. Like, that's insane. I don't think they actually have the damage to kill him if the Wisp is nearby anymore. It's just not possible. Like, the way that Alliance have to take a fight, they have to drop everything on one person, but having a Winter Wyvern is really good for them.
Charge onto Nico, S4 blinking forward. Nico's fairly tanky, and now he's just going to turn and go on to Nuts. Nuts has got the Glimmer Cape, walks it off. Pycat trying to get lucky with the razors, won't quite find it. And oh, Alliance, do they want to try and fight? They haven't got a Chain Frost here for 20 seconds, but Ake smoked up, just moving in. We need some vision down here around the pit. Thing is, though, 4Clovers, they're already in there. Pycat working away at Roshan. Alliance, so they're ready to try and formulate a fight. 20 seconds until S4's got his Sonic Wave. I mean, this may just be a little too long, and I think the time might be here for 4Clovers to take this Roche. And Alliance, they just don't have the oldies to jump in yet.
The Furian's not up to a point where he can actually do much in the fight. That's the real problem. Like, he goes for Shadowblade, but in a 5 versus 5 fight, Shadowblade is not useful. And if you look at the map that Alliance are working with, he doesn't even feel safe to split push. So 4CL just get this free.
Bambo forces in, blinks onto Nuts, brings him back. Nequa's there as well. They're trying to work with this. EGM and Pycat come through. They get the right clicks on Pycat. The Chain Frost is out, but they've already found the list. They're trying to get Nuts. Nuts, he's going to go down as well. Double kill to Pycat. Pycat does get tossed off here by Loda, but he's going to get himself back in the fight as they move forward. Bulldog gets caught. Well, the Winter's Curse, in fact, coming down, holding him in place. And 4Clovers just cleaning house now. Bulldog's going to hide on the high ground. He'll get taken down by Saxa. In a 3-for-2, 4Clovers did lose a few, but again, a favorable trade here for the Dire.
It's a rough road right now for Alliance if they want to get themselves back into this game. When a Shadow Fiend is this far ahead, and you don't really have a good physical damage hero, it becomes increasingly difficult to deal with him. I mean, he's feeling so confident, he just goes for a crit. Like, he's not going BKB, he's not going Scotty, which are the typical items that we see for a Shadow Fiend. He's like, nah, I was gonna buy a Daedalus. I got Wisp, I got Overcharge, damage reduction. And, I mean, honestly, EGM has been following around most of the game, and I was kind of thinking at first that it's not like a super strong combo for killing, but he's so tanky. That's the problem, they just can't kill him.
They really can't. Yeah, well, top lane. And let's see them go for a bit of action. Niqua is going to get charged down here by Nuts. Nuts going to hold off and just lead him with another strike. Bulldog turns up, says, I'll have that kill. Takes that one for the team. Kill secured. And, well, Alliance off the back of that, trying to force this tier 2 on this top lane. Bottom 4Clovers themselves, getting the momentum going towards this tier 2. Potentially a trade. Fortification will come out from 4Clovers. We'll see if Alliance do return to try and defend this tier 2, or if at this point they've just got to let it go.
Well, I think that trying to contest Shadow Fiend right now is maybe a mistake. Like, you don't want to try to take a 5 versus 5 fight against 4CL at this current stage. Splitting up the map is what Alliance always wanted to do. It's just become very difficult due to 2 things, Night Stalker and Batrider. Also, EGM's relocates with Pycat. As soon as that happens, you have to pretty much abandon the fight right now. Alliance just don't have the items that they need.
Daedalus stun on Pycat. Touching on to level 16 as well. We're 19 minutes in. This man has reached 15,000 net worth on the Shadow Fiend. This has got to be definitely up there as one of Pycat's best performances, and I'd imagine it feels pretty good for him going up against Alliance.
I think they disband Shadow Fiend next game, Alliance. Like, that's really the main problem. So they picked this Lich lane with Tiny mid, right? Because they want to win the laning phase. And they don't actually win mid with it. So then the Lich doesn't really offer much. I feel like the Spirit Breaker kind of fell flat as well. He didn't really do anything controlling other lanes besides bottom, and any support could have done that, right? So I'm kind of questioning if the Spirit Breaker pick was the right idea, and if they could have done something else maybe to actually help win mid a little bit harder. Because Pycat had no pressure this game. Absolutely none.
Gem now picked up on the Wyvern. Almost certainly going to be given over to the Night Stalker once he finishes off his axe. And here's the push. There we go. Brings S4 back. Bambo straight in.
Alrighty.
And there we have it. The record's been set. Pycat's performance this game. A patch record for the net worth on this hero. He does get tossed back, and this might be a big kill if they can bring Pycat down. Pycat can get himself out of this. The charge is there, but he's got the Aegis. He's ready for round 2. Loader and S4 on the sidelines for 30+ seconds. And 4Clovers will use this time to take the mid-tier 3. And maybe even more here, Andy, as 4Clovers are just rolling over Alliance at this point.
Their lineup needed to have one of two things happen. Alliance needed to either kill the Shadow Fiend a few times, maybe contest the stacks, and they didn't end up doing it. That kill on bottom lane where S4 died, I think, was pretty crucial in that regard. Like, not hitting 6 faster and not being able to contest mid to help kill the stacks. And then the other thing is, like, the Spirit Breaker just did nothing for me. I really felt like the pick when I saw it, I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do here, you know? They want to try to mix it up a little bit in the early game, but it just didn't do much. So then you have this mid game where Shadow Fiend is completely free farming, gets kills the first couple of times that Alliance actually try to fight mid, lives through all of the engagements, and up until this point still doesn't have a single death. You just got to ban the hero, honestly.
Absolutely. I don't think we're going to be seeing this hero again from 4Clovers.
I think it's a little bit of a weakness, though, that Alliance as a team don't actually play Shadow Fiend. Because when you're Radiant as a team, most other people who are playing against you will always ban Shadow Fiend just because it's so good on that side. But Alliance aren't the team who do that, right? Because S4, they mentioned on the panel too, Peter said S4 just doesn't play Shadow Fiend. So I think it's, in this patch especially, it's kind of rough.
Oh, there's a smoke up. It's actually going to get dispelled by Bambo, and he's actually still going to jump in. He goes in, grabs Loader. The dust is there as well. He has been glimmer caped up, and now with 3 heroes coming in onto Loader. Can they get it? Maybe Alliance can look for the turnaround here. Nuts charging forward, trying to make this a favorable trade, but EGM comes in from the back. Saxon and Pycat looking for the fight. The Chain Frost comes out, but it doesn't matter. They've already found 2. The side of 4Clovers. Bambo getting bashed up by Nuts. S4 blinking forward with the screen. They will take down Bambo on the Power Rider, but they've lost 3. The Winter's Curse onto Nuts. They lose 4. It's a 4-for-1 trade once again, favoring 4Clovers, and Alliance just can't win these fights.
I think this game had actually, they've been on the back foot for a while. It seems weird saying that, right? Because it's a 22-minute game, and the net worth for Pycat's 19,000 at 22.5 minutes. That is absolutely ridiculous. There's just nothing they can do, honestly. Like, some games you could come back based on the enemy team making a mistake, but he actually just has so much farm that he's almost got enough for another, like, tier 1 item. So if he wants to go for Scotty now, if he wants to go for like AC, Butterfly, you know, whatever the choice, he can pretty much straight up buy it. And if you compare that to what Loda has, he's got a Shadow Blade and drums, which still isn't even like, if we're talking about farm for the stage of the game that it is, it's not even like it's that bad. It's just when you compare it to Pycat's, it's like, okay, well, how do we kill this hero?
They've got to do something big here, Alliance, if they wish to recover here in game 1. I mean, what is the plan here for the side? What can they do to try and punish 4Clovers when they look for these very aggressive movements from the Batrider? I mean, we saw Bambo there. It didn't look great at the start because they were sitting on the sidelines, about to jump into a fully smoked up lineup of Alliance, and somehow they just come out on top. The relocate comes through, and they've got all the resources to just turn the fight around.
It's just solely the Shadow Fiend. Like, that really is the story of the game. Sometimes you just lose to a hero, and this game, Alliance lost to Shadow Fiend. Because, I mean, obviously everyone on 4CL played a part. They stacked the jungle for him. Bambo had some really nice picks early on that helped him create some space so that Pycat didn't have any pressure. The team played very well around the hero. But the smoke here, looking for a potential kill. He's scouting some trains.
And I think it's going to be Ake in a lot of trouble. As he gets picked off it by Nikwa and Saxa. He'll make them work for it. As Saxa claiming the kill onto his icy brethren. Now the push from 4Clovers. They've already found other tier 2s. They've of course found the racks in the mid lane. They're ready to look for another lane.
Oh, he just buys a whole Satanic. Okay, yeah, that's
that's the thing.
That's it. Yeah, that's good. Good item. So he's gonna have like what, close to 30 armor and 2,500 HP. Okay,
I mean, it's not a stat we normally look at, but his current GPM 830 gold per minute.
They actually just cannot kill him. It's not possible anymore. Like, they would have to throw him into the well.
Well, even at that point, I think they're going to need at least 7 ultis. Pycat, he's now going to look to take the tier 3. Rex now exposed. What are Alliance going to be able to do to stop this? Okay, Loda gets lassoed up.
Oh my god.
That's your tiny gone. Chainfrost coming out. They're trying to do the best, but S4's been silenced. He can't get off the Sonic Wave. They'll get the Red Room off Pycat, and now he starts to go to work. Holy crit, just melting through the Spirit Breaker. Loda does get the toss back here onto Pycat, but Pycat says thank you for moving me closer to Bulldog. Bulldog trying to TP out. Is it going to work? Triple kill for Pycat. Nuts gets the charge. He gets the bash on TGM. Will take the kill. They've got the buybacks here, Alliance. Can they force 4Clovers out of the base? I don't think they can. Nuts is going to go down. It's a dieback on the man. Ultra kill for Pycat. Give us the Rampage. He's going to get it. And that pretty much sums up this game. GG is cool.
Okay.
Pycat on that.